Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Parami app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and News Talk 710 KURV on the free Radio Parami app. Download it now.
Man be lifted from $10,000 now.
You know, they raised it to $40,000, and it's got a cost that's, as of now, has not been paid for.
Now, some Republicans keep pushing for more spending cuts in the bill. Democrats warn they'll slash key programs for taking health coverage and food assistance from some Americans. The bill would also fund President Trump's new defense system.
Once fully operational, President Trump says the Golden Dome will be capable of intercepting missiles fired from around the world or launched from space.
It's a pretty evil world out there, so this is something that goes a long way toward the survival of this great country.
He says the full project will total $175 billion and be operational in about 3 years.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House, where President Trump will meet today with South Africa's president, and it could get tense. The U.S. has canceled aid to South Africa, expelled its ambassador, and then flew white minority South African refugees to the U.S., which led to this back and forth at a hearing yesterday between Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Democratic Senator Tim Kaine.
You don't like the fact that they're white, and that's why they're coming.
Say that would be unacceptable.
Well, no,
that
I would say that the United States,
a very easy thing.
The United
to say.
States has a right to pick and choose who they allow into the United States,
even based on the color of somebody's skin.
No one's. You're the one that's talking about the color of their skin, not me. These
you're
are people whose farms were being burned down and they were killed because of the color of their skin.
Rubio has another hearing in the House today. Another escapee captured in Louisiana after Friday's jailbreak. But the manhunt continues for 5 more prisoners still on the run. America's listening to Fox News.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
2 guys who took part in the 2021 Capitol riot, then had charges dropped when President Trump returned to the White House, are in trouble again. Zachary Jordan, who got a pardon after an 8-year sentence for his actions in the riot, arrested in Virginia on burglary charges, accused of breaking into a home outside Richmond. The other rioter has been found guilty of another crime.
Taylor Toronto convicted of making a hoax bomb threat to a government building and illegally possessing guns and ammunition. The Navy veteran from Washington State, who had his Capitol riot case dismissed by the Trump administration, was arrested near former President Barack Obama's Washington, D.C. home in June of 2023. Investigators say he was found with 2 guns, roughly 500 rounds of ammunition, and a machete in his van. Prosecutors say he was live streaming, making threatening statements about Democrats, including the former president, and detailing an ominous, threatening plan to the National Institute of Standards and Technology, part of the U.S. Department of Commerce. Defense attorneys had argued he had no bomb-making materials and wasn't near the institute. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
There is a new vacancy on death row in Texas.
49-year-old Matthew Johnson received a lethal injection at the state penitentiary in Huntsville. He had doused 76-year-old gas station clerk Nancy Harris with lighter fluid and then set her ablaze during a robbery in Garland, Texas. Shortly before his demise, Johnson asked for forgiveness from the Harris family and apologized to his wife and children for what he did. Gary Baumgarten, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stocks could fall even more today. Dow futures down more than 300 points. In the NBA playoffs, a blowout to start the Western Conference Finals.
Foul, bucket, counted, and one.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander led the Oklahoma City Thunder, scoring 31 points in a 114-88 rout of the Minnesota Timberwolves on ESPN. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
News Talk 710 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's all-American truck headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
Happy Wednesday morning. It is May 21st, 2025. You're in tune with what is News Radio for South Texas. The Valley's Morning News. Show producer Zach Cantu. I'm Sergio Sanchez, and we got AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine. He's the popular guy of the morning because weather's, if you read the forecast, it's real interesting. Afternoon thunderstorms that might bring some hail and some strong damaging winds later in the day. So stay tuned for our conversation with Jeffrey Nordine from AccuWeather at 7:08. Meantime, a heads up from City Hall, Brownsville, to folks nearby. You might hear some sonic booms early next week. A post on social media from Brownsville indicating that there might be another Starship launch next Tuesday. The post noted that sonic booms are expected as a result. SpaceX still needs to get approval from the Federal Aviation Administration before next week's launch. Superintendent of Mercedes Schools is apologizing after being arrested for suspected DWI. Benjamin Clinton was arrested by state troopers in Los Fresnos last Friday. The investigation saying that Clinton smelled strongly of alcohol and that several liquor bottles were found in his vehicle. The school board was meeting privately last night to discuss Mr. Clinton's employment. Other news from Mercedes Schools, the school district saying that they will be closing 2 elementary schools at the end of the school year. The Mercedes ISD trustees approved a consolidation plan, and supporters of the plan saying that the district needs to deal with declining enrollment, which means declining revenue. It's 7:06 on the Valley's Morning News. The picture of how much property tax relief you might see in your future is becoming a bit more clear.
The Texas House unanimously giving initial approval to Senate Bill 4. It would raise the homestead exemption to $140,000. Bill was authored by State Senator Paul Bettencourt.
So when you combine both the savings that will come through the state compression percentage and also the savings from the homestead exemption, the estimated savings is $496.57.
If the State House also passes Senate Joint Resolution 2, raising the homestead exemption would then be up to the Texas voters in November. But there's more. State Rep Morgan Meyer.
This being one part of our property tax relief legislation that we're going to deliver to millions of Texans.
In Austin, Chris Fox, News Talk 710 KURV.
And just weeks after school choice became law in Texas, we got Senator Ted Cruz introducing legislation encouraging donations.
The main point of the bill, according to Senator Cruz's office, is to enhance universal school choice and options for every child. The bill would encourage people and businesses to donate to granting organizations supporting educational opportunities for students. And $10 billion in federal tax credits would be the encouragement to do so. This follows Governor Greg Abbott signing school choice into law in Texas. Opponents of the movement have been critical of the price tag. The Texas $1 billion school voucher program is one of the largest in the United States.
The time is 7:08 on News Talk 710 KURV. It is Accu with the time, and we say thank you to Dougie and all the gang over at Martin Farm and Ranch. They provide us 7 o'clock AccuWeather. Well, the weather is a scorcher, going to be a scorcher. You need Purina liquid feed for your livestock, so make sure your cattle have Purina liquid feed. Martin Farm and Ranch's certified dealer. AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine is joining us. It has a very interesting forecast. All right, pal. So let's get right to it. You said this afternoon we might see some thunder shower activity, and you still kept the H word in the forecast, hail. So what was all that about?
Yeah, so later this afternoon, in fact, quite late, more closer to the evening, we're going to see some thunderstorms develop on the Mexican side. So it'll develop over the mountains and then push its way eastward. And the storms look like they could have some significant hail. There's a couple individual storm cells in western or southwest Texas that could bring some larger hail. And then the wind threat, because they are in a line, exists around 55 to 60 miles per hour. And then it tapers off by the, let's call it early morning hours on Thursday.
Okay, so that's a late evening and overnight passage of that cool front through the area. Then that's what we're looking at. So late tonight.
Correct.
That's all the energy from the cool front. I wish it was a cold front. We're not cooling down much tomorrow.
No, you're not.
And the next day. Yeah, okay. but we'll take the shower activity. West of us, you said yesterday that Laredo and the lake likely not to see much rain activity.
Now that's changed.
Okay, good.
I would say that they're going to get a good amount. Same thing with Falcon, and then western areas, so like McAllen will see a good amount. Brownsville might get some rain, but not as much as the areas west.
Because it's sounding like it's setting up similar to last time, where we got most of like Mid Valley West got most of the rain. Okay, Ben, we'll see what develops later in the day, and in case something flares up, blows up, we'll call the gang at AccuWeather to do some live Q&As. Join us on the drive home 4 to 6 with Zach and Davis. We'll do follow-up forecast with AccuWeather on that. Texas travel clear. I noticed nothing on radar for the moment, so I guess we're good for now, right?
Yeah, today, the next 24 hours is all good across the state. Tomorrow, Dallas, we could see some strong thunderstorms push through, and then dry Friday and Saturday. Houston is going to be dry through Saturday, minus a thunder shower. And looking at San Antonio tomorrow night, some of those storms could be strong, otherwise dry through Saturday.
On the national calendar for today, got lots of sugar for you. It's if it were 100 plus degrees, it would probably make sense. Get a snow cone or a slush, right? It's a national juice slush day. What were you saying, Zach? Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Zach. Since I can't see you, Zach. Jeffrey, I can't. Zach was telling me you're pointing at yourself for all the
because
the sugar.
It's World Meteorology Day.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there goes Zach. He's out. We quit. We missed that one, dude. I'll be honest with you. It's not on my list. It didn't make it to my list. Didn't get the memo on that. National Strawberries and Cream Day as well.
Oh, that's yummy.
And as far as professions, we didn't get the meteorologist one, but we got national wait staff, like the waiters. We're able
okay, gotcha. Yeah,
a little extra tip for today, and if we could give you a tip, we would as well.
I mean, I have Venmo and PayPal. You choose your way to send it over.
I have neither. I can tell you look both ways before you cross the street. How about that? That's pretty useful. All right, pal. I'll call you next hour.
See ya.
Keep it tuned to 710 KURV through the day. See if it gets interesting later this afternoon. Again, since all the exciting stuff might happen late this evening, then a conversation with AccuWeather 4 to 6 on the drive home with Zach Davis will be very, very useful. And that is your AccuWeather forecast. Big thank you to Dougie and all the gang at Martin Farm and Ranch. The time is 7:12 on the Valley's Morning News. Here's reporter Michael Board with a new tactic to try to bring down the price of drugs.
President Trump has put a priority on domestic manufacturing. Now there's a push to include prescription drugs, which experts say would bring down prices. Dr. Clifford Porter with the Texas Public Policy Foundation says most drugs come from China.
If we can get that to the point of generics, we could actually really create market options.
The domestic manufacturing of drugs, he says, would also improve outcomes for patients. There's more quality control here. He argues for a manufacturing quota where drug makers could bid for the right to produce high-demand medications.
Google in the news this morning, bringing its flagship language model to Chrome, Mac, and Windows.
The company's AI-generated browsing assistant, known as Gemini, will be available in Chrome, so users can ask follow-up questions while searching for websites. And future versions will be able to navigate the web and take other actions on behalf of the user. The announcement came during the company's developer conference, where Google rolled out updates to its artificial intelligence ambitions. The function is going to be available to Google AI Pro subscribers in the U.S. this week. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
And our neighbor, Elon Musk, saying he's done enough when it comes to political spending.
The tech billionaire is planning to reduce his financial contributions after flowing millions of dollars into the 2024 presidential election and other campaigns. Over the past year, filings show that he spent at least $250 million to help get President Trump elected to a second term. However, Musk has not completely ruled out contributing and told reporters, quote, "If I see a reason to do political spending in the future, I will do it." I'm Lisa Carton.
And all this talk of Elon Musk reminds us of EVs, electric vehicles. Waffle House in the news this morning saying they're going to be setting up some electric vehicle charging stations. The time is 7:15 on the Valley's Morning News. Yeah, you get your juice and the car gets the juice as well. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, the price is still pretty good for copper trade. Yeah, the recycling. Time is 7:15 on the Valley's Morning News. Speaking of EVs, autos, all that, Central Texas, the hub for vehicle manufacturing in the state of Texas. You got to go up to Central Texas, where we in the Valley are close enough to perhaps complement some of that. And with all the talk of U.S. manufacturing being so popular and reshoring and all that, how about we land some of that? The good folks over at RioPlex, that initiative, private sector, public sector initiative to try to recruit industry, had a conversation about that on Monday. And we got my friend Mario Reyna in the studio to give us a recap next on the Valley's Morning News.
Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start looking and feeling your best with Hair Grow by New Nordic, available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com, or at your local CVS.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Join the Radio United team. We are looking for a junior marketing consultant for our stations in the RGV. Are you passionate, competitive, and love communication? This is your chance to be part of our marketing team. Requirements: minimum 1 year of experience in outside sales, communication and negotiation skills, valid driver's license, bilingual preferred, legally authorized to work in the United States, and a few more. Send your resume today to humanresources@radiounited.com. Radio United is an equal opportunity employer.
The voice of the next generation of conservatives.
The Charlie Kirk Show, weeknights at 8 on News Talk 710 KURV, KURV.com, and on the Radio Potami app.
You're in tune with the Valley's Morning News. This is News Talk 710 KURV, also at Radio Potami. You'll find that free app. You can listen to us on your smart device. Astros baseball on 710 KURV. We got an afternoon game in Tampa Bay. So Zach and Davis on the drive home 4 to 6 will give you updates. Astros baseball made possible by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women and the Mission Economic Development Office. A dear friend, Mario Reyna, is in the studio. And of late, he's been helping out with a new effort. I would say a uniquely South Texas effort. I don't know if this has been done before, but you got the private sector, folks who have a stake in the game. They've invested in creating square footage and warehousing and manufacturing. The private sector, industrialists, along with economic development folks, in this RioPlex effort to sell our region to the world and try to land us some more manufacturing, some more jobs in South Texas. And it's a new initiative, big kickoff in Houston weeks back. You heard about that. This week, on Monday, they had a conversation with the good folks at it was the Bexar County Economic Development Office, and you guys were talking about the automotive sector. So give me a quick recap how that went.
Good morning, and thank you
brother.
for allowing us to be here. No, so back in December, I went to Bexar County to visit them because I noticed that they're doing a lot of economic development at the county level from the county's offices. So I went to visit David Marquez, and he's the individual that came to visit us on Monday. So the thing that I was most interested in is what they call the automotive supercluster. So they gave me a presentation, and I came back and talked to some people, and I said, "Hey, we should have this discussion here," because their radius is 400 miles. And when I went to visit him, I had seen the presentation. They had a long, like 150-page presentation, and so I said to David, I noticed that the star over the Rio Grande Valley is kind of dim. The bright star was in Laredo.
On their presentation. Yeah.
Yes. And obviously the reason for that is because they follow I-35.
Yeah.
So they go all the way up to Detroit, if you will. And so I said, hey, let's have a conversation because we need to brighten up the star a little bit.
Yeah.
And so that's what's going on. So basically 400 miles either way from San Antonio, that's what they consider to be in their automotive cluster.
And if you look at it from what was the reality before all this conversation on tariffs and the sense of urgency to reshore based on present policy and the administration that we have, that's just the reality. And you get a lot of folks in the industry that are thinking, well, maybe it'd be a good idea if we set up shop in the U.S. and manufacture some of this stuff. And yes, I know that there are different formulas of how much percentage of a vehicle needs to be manufactured here and the parts percentage of that, all that. So all those formulas we're not going to visit, and they might change here pretty soon, I suppose, may be renegotiated under the next USMCA. But Laredo's not a very big market. We have the young people, we have the population to host more complementary manufacturing for Toyota or even Tesla nearby in Austin. We have the people, we have the colleges, we have the workforce training pipelines for that. You think that after this conversation on Monday with Bexar County, they're starting to wake up and realize, Laredo, they got a nice bridge, but things are changing. We need more U.S.-based manufacturing. What do you think?
Absolutely. So the reason for Laredo being on the map for them is because it's a logistics situation. Mm-hmm. They get a lot of their parts from the Monterey area, Ramos Arizpe.
Yeah.
So that's a situation there. So here, our highways are being built, as you know, when you go to San Antonio, you see all that new construction. So. And we have obviously a population that is perhaps better equipped. We have, thousands of students in our educational system. So that is a good source for someone to set up an operation in our area. So the thing about San Antonio is that they have Tundra. They have a Tesla in the local area. Mm-hmm. They have a Caterpillar, which builds engines. Sure. And then they have Navistar. And they manufacture trucks and something called I think it's called BCG, and those are like forklift operations. They build big forklifts and what I would call cherry pickers. So they have those companies obviously that they need to support, and the way you do that is by having a lot of suppliers. They need a lot of suppliers that can get to them, and 400 miles is the.
So what do you think of all the industries that I totally forgot about Caterpillar, but everybody else that's building motors, can we set up something here?
Well, I think the important part is that they have what they call this OEM, or original equipment manufacturer, mm-hmm. which is Tundra and the other operations. But we have our own OEM here, SpaceX.
Yes, sir.
So we haven't heard of a cluster around, SpaceX. And I mean, there's a lot of operations going on, but I have not heard of a particular cluster to support SpaceX. So perhaps this is a discussion that we should be talking about. And yesterday, I was at the Bert Odgen Arena, and SpaceX was there. And this is part of, what clusters are supposed to do, promoting the workforce. They're out there encouraging young students to get involved with engineering. They brought in some astronauts and space agency individuals to encourage people to start thinking about engineering. Engineering is important, but the lower skills are also extremely important. The people that do all the production. And this is where TSC, TSDC, SDC come in with all their precision manufacturing or advanced manufacturing programs. So this is, I think, the beginning of a conversation, and perhaps we won't call it an automotive cluster. Perhaps we will better call it a manufacturing cluster to support the entire spectrum of the entire spectrum of activities that might take place.
Mario Reyna, representing Realplex, the economic development push between the private sector, public sector. They had a conversation with folks from the Bexar County Economic Development Office on Monday. Folks at Bexar County presented the realities of their automotive manufacturing in Central Texas and in San Antonio within a 400-mile radius. We could complement that. Will there be a follow-up with the folks at Bexar County? Because I would imagine various suppliers, everything from metal to plastic molding, injection, and lug nuts and little buttons and switches, there must be someone out there that's interested in crossing the river and setting up shop over here.
Well,
We'd like to make things easy for them.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, that's the reason for Rioplex, because we need to tell the world that we're here. And UTRGV, Ron Garza is going to be obviously very much involved with this. And, when you look at the MSAs, the most important MSAs in this country are in California. And the universities play a major role, in creating. And we have obviously a MSA here, and so does Brownsville. But universities play a big role, and Ron Garza is going to be helping us a lot with this cluster discussions going forward.
So many tools at the university. Of late, it seems like we had UTRGV week last week. We were talking about AI, a partnership with Georgia Tech, and we're talking with the advanced manufacturing research chief at the university, which that will complement in many ways.
Absolutely. A lot of things that UTRGV is doing, as well as the community colleges, it's going to help with the cluster discussions. So, we were very fortunate that we have all these great institutions here, and working together is what creates all this synergy that we're looking for. And that's what clusters are all about. They bring people together, they talk, and they talk about ideas and come up with great solutions to help the industry.
Let me go back to what you mentioned on the other cluster that we could help create, complement in any way, help Elon Musk and crew. When they got like 3,500 people, it could be 7,000 here within the next 18, 24, 36 months. That's going to be HQ. They're moving it from California. So, and they got the Giga Rocket Factory. So from propulsion systems to life systems, safety, all sorts of safety systems and paneling and things like that. There's so much potential for us to complement what is being done there, to feed into it. Where do you see this going? How can we make it happen to create that cluster and provide that, make it easy for them? So at Brownsville, at the port, even over at Harlingen, and you never know, maybe over here in Edinburgh, McAllen, Mission area, feed in to that somehow.
Everybody's going to play a role. And as we continue the discussions, the UTRGV is going to take a lead in this particular process.
Okay.
And you're right. SpaceX is a very important operation here in our part of the world. And yesterday, the individual that runs that operation was saying that 80% of the people that work at SpaceX are from here. So that gives you, for me, it gives me a great feeling to know that we are supporting this so important operation for us, and it's going to continue to grow. And perhaps there might be other launch operations, other companies that might, because anyone can use a space launch complex. Anyone can use it. So this is a perfect area to do those kind of things. And so I just look forward not only to that, but also the other operations that are going on throughout the valley and at the port.
The gang at Rioplex, the county judges, the industrialists, other local leaders, the mayors. In any way, have you been successful in having a heart-to-heart with, I know Elon Musk is hard to pin down, but with Kathy Lueders and everybody else? Because in a recent conversation that Kathy Lueders, who's the chief over there at SpaceX, at the campus, she said, you mentioned the 80%. She said that, and they said they're very happy with the Rio Grande Valley talent, the schools. So there is a potential to take this to the next level.
Absolutely.
And not only, look, with Boring Company and the motors it needs to build, I know that they're developing some solar power panels or something, some batteries north of us in the Corpus Christi area. But we can develop that here also for the satellites that are being launched into space. There's so many different companies that he has.
Starlink, for example.
Yeah, Starlink. Well, there's so many different companies, and I see so many different. So I see the potential for so many different assembly lines. So we could complement what is being done here. Has anyone been successful in having that heart-to-heart with SpaceX and say, we're ready, we got the land, we got the kids, we got the schools, let's take it to the next level? What do you need?
Well, I haven't talked to her, but I'm sure Ron probably has. But this is where all this is going. We had the first conversation. We're going to continue having those conversations, And how we name this operation is going to be up to the people that are going to be involved in the conversation, whether it's automotive, be part of the automotive, or just have a manufacturing cluster. This is something that's going to happen in the next, 4 or 5 months. But like Ron said at the meeting, this is not the end. It's just the beginning of conversations that are going to take place, and something very important will come out from our meeting on Monday.
Well, now you prompted me to call Ron. Ron, you're next, dude. I'll be calling you here pretty soon, trying to get you the. Thanks for stopping by, Mario.
Thank you.
On behalf of Rioplex, the economic development push of South Texas is Mario Reina. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Let's go pay some bills, Zach. Stay tuned to KURV today. We got some interesting weather in the forecast this evening and into tonight. Maybe some thunder shower activity. Maybe some strong winds. And the H word, hail. AccuWeather not backing off. Somebody might see something like that late this afternoon into tonight. Your station for AccuWeather is News Talk 710 KURV.
At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Texas, we understand it's not just our next-door neighbors who inspire us every day. It's our neighbors across the country, across all communities. And while Blue Cross has been your one local and trusted healthcare partner for over 95 years, it's our wide scope of products, services, and technologies that allows us to have a deeper understanding for everyone, everywhere, empowering whole-person health with compassion and innovation, one member at a time. It's that unique Blue Cross service and commitment through all stages of life that connects us hand in hand, ensuring you always have access to the highest quality, affordable healthcare with that personal touch, always finding new ways to deliver on our oldest promise, to keep you at the center of everything we do. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Texas, through it all.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Texas, a division of Healthcare Service Corporation, a mutual legal reserve company.
So much construction, so much economic activity, many people moving to South Texas, construction everywhere. Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing is right in the middle of it. Huge outfit. Chamberlain Roofing, Waterproofing, 125 years of experience, and they bring with them the same superior customer service and commitment to keep you as a property manager, to keep you as the investor, as a property owner, happy. Make sure that you are happy with a project, with a building project, with a roofing project, with a fix at those commercial properties that you have. We got another tropical season around the corner. So remember when I would tell you about my friend Dale Johnson and his roofing company, DLJ? Yeah, he and the entire crew, they're right there locking arms. But Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing, they have joined forces. Trust them. My friend Dale Johnson does. With your roofing repairs, new roofing projects, you get some construction out there, cutting edge roof insulation and repair technology, and advanced waterproofing for your businesses of properties, even your home. ChamberlainLTD.com, the phone number 956-566-6822.
Stop by Hess Fitness Products at 3501 North 10th Street in McAllen, where you can touch and feel the difference of fitness equipment that's designed to move with a human body. Equipment you'll look forward to using in your next workout. For over 44 years, Hess has handpicked the best manufacturer with the best warranties in the industry. They've got experienced fitness consultants. Edgar Santana, store manager, and his team can help you select the right equipment for your body type and your goals. Hess Fitness Products. Go to HessFitness.com. Look better, feel better, do more.
Coming up after the Valley's Morning News, stay tuned for the Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez, starting at 9, followed by the Dana Show with Dana Lash at 11 on News Talk 710 KURV, KURV.com, and on the Radio Parami app.
The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
The Texas Rangers took on the New York Yankees last night in the Bronx, and the Yankees continue to win as the Rangers suffer a 5-2 loss. It was 5-0 entering the ninth, but Jonah Heim hit a 2-run homer to avoid the shutout. It'll be a rematch tonight as Jacob deGrom will take on Ryan Yarbrough. First pitch is scheduled for 6:05. It was the same result for the Houston Astros as they fell to the Rays 3-2. Houston had a 2-0 lead entering the 8th before Jonathan Aranda's 2-run double. The Rays would then walk it off in the 9th thanks to Taylor Walls.
The pitch. And that's hit in the left, shallow. McCormick backs up a few steps, gets behind it, makes the catch. Morel tags, trying to score. The throw home, not nearly in time. Christopher Morel scores, and the Rays walk off the Astros 3-2 on the Taylor Wall sac fly.
Houston will look to bounce back today, and Hunter Brown takes the bump versus Taj Bradley. It's an early start with first pitch scheduled for 12:10. I'm Dylan Moore, and this has been your Sports Report.
Your 710 KURV AccuWeather forecast starts out with a mix of clouds and sunshine, and then we're going to track some thunderstorms this afternoon into the evening, some of which could bring hail and strong winds. We'll see a high of 95, and then overnight we're partly cloudy at a low of 78. For tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds, highs around 94 to 98, 93 to 98 Friday with a partly sunny day. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Jeff Nordine on the Valley's official weather station, 710 KURV.
It's 81 degrees in the Mission, McAllen, Edinburgh area. Got overcast skies. Join us this afternoon, 4 to 6 on the drive home with Zach and Davis. Conversations with AccuWeather as we go into the evening. Sunset, see what happens with that expected thunderstorm activity. Border Bridge wait times. From Brownsville, we got an hour wait time at B&M, hour 15 at Gateway, but hour 10 minutes at the Veterans Bridge, and we need an update for the McAllen area bridges. Business news, check of your money. That's next on 710 KURV. Join us at Radio Para Mi. Find that free app, listen live, and do a rewind. The enchilada and fajita pato plate is available now at El Pato, all El Pato restaurants. Special is only $9.99. You get a big, fat beef fajita pato, fresh off the skillet, that wonderful smelling and tasting flour tortilla full of delicious beef fajitas, rice, bean, and either two chicken or two cheese enchiladas. Boy, I love that yellow cheese at El Pato. I don't know where they get it. I got to find their source, man. That's delicious yellow cheese. Those yellow cheese enchiladas, or the chicken with the yellow cheese on top, the enchiladas, plus the drink. And amazing, man, that's a lot of food. That's an amazing $9.99 for a limited time at all El Pato restaurants. Don't forget, every day they got daily specials. You can stack up the plates. That's what we do every now and then at the house. Get some chicken guisado or carne guisada or chicken enchilada pato plates at only $5.99. And I know you're hungry right now because I'm telling you about El Pato. Phone it in or go to elpato.com and get you a bag full of breakfast tacos, the patos, chorizo, potato, cheese, ham, bacon, you name it. Don't forget the little red sauce that you put there right into the taco at the end in the pato. It's elpato.com or phone the order in right now at all El Pato restaurants.
Did you know Mighty Mike's Plumbing, Electrical, and HVAC also does duct cleaning?
Here, Feathers, guess what?
Tea.
Coffee. You know I don't like tea.
Oh, no. Mighty Mike's offers duct cleaning to make sure your ducts are clean and system running efficiently to save you money. Now is a great time for duct cleaning, so just call 956-686-1353.
Oh, I found callmightymike.com. They do all HVAC services and more.
Except that, but they do duct cleaning. Get your system done. Mighty Mike's to the rescue.
At Rivetta's Machinery in Donna, they're bringing the best deals on Coyote equipment to your job site, your farm, or your backyard. Right now, take advantage of 0% interest or up to $6,000 cash back on Coyote track loaders and skid steers. These are machines built for maximum performance no matter the task. But don't stop there. They're also offering fantastic savings on Coyote tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles. And whether you're hauling something, mowing, tackling other big jobs, Coyote has the equipment to help you get it done. If you're looking for great deals and great service from a team that treats you like family, look no further than Rivetta's Machinery and Coyote. Start your next project right. Visit Rivetta's Machinery in Donna or browse their deals when it suits you at mynewtractor.com. That's That's their website, mynewtractor.com. Revettas for the long haul. See dealer for full details.
Pain management specialist Dr. Dennis Slavin on back and neck pain.
Our website is feelingbetteratLast.com because that's what people say as they leave my office. They really are feeling better at last. Hi, I'm Dr. Dennis Slavin with some sound advice on back and neck pain. It starts in the morning as soon as you sit up in bed. You have that pain across your back that can cause an ugly tingling sensation down past your knee to your feet. This symptom, called sciatica, has several causes, but most can be treated without surgery. After a thorough history and physical, identifying the pain generator, whether it be a bulging disc, an arthritic joint, or an inflamed muscle, a targeted, precise, image-guided treatment done in the office can provide quick pain relief and allow you to get on with your day. Patients are amazed by the pain relief. They wonder why they waited so long to be feeling better at last.
With offices in McAllen and Weslaco, Dr. Dennis Slavin is only a phone call away, and many say it's the best call they've ever made. Call 956-973-0565. 973-0565.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC, McAllen Mission.
I'm Nicole Murray with your money now. Xpeng shares jumped 6% after the company beat first quarter earnings expectations. The firm said it expects to deliver between 102 and 108,000 of its electric cars in the second quarter of this year. Xpeng shares have rallied 66% this year thanks to strong deliveries. President Trump announced his administration has selected the architectural design for a Golden Dome missile defense system to protect the U.S. from foreign threats. Trump said the project will cost roughly $175 billion, though funding has not yet been secured, and the dome should be fully operational before January of 2029. Palo Alto Networks reported better than expected earnings and revenue for the latest quarter, but its gross margin was below estimates. Sales in the company's fiscal third quarter grew 15% from nearly $2 billion a year earlier. The stock dropped 4% upon the news. Futures are moderately lower. Tuesday, the Dow Industrials lost 114, the NASDAQ down 72. That's your money now.
AccuWeather says afternoon thunderstorms, and they might get interesting around sundown or overnight. We might see some damaging winds, possibly some hail for someone in deep South Texas. So join us on KURV for updates through the day. Coming up in about 2-3 minutes, the next newscast, a wake-up call for all men. The announcement that former President Biden has prostate cancer and some changes to those driverless 18-wheelers between Houston and Dallas. That's some of the news coming up in just 2-3 minutes. The Valley's Morning News on Newstalk 710 KURV, also at Radio Para Mi, the free app. The Ryan and Brian Real Estate Team is the top team in real estate, all this entire region, only team that I'm calling to help me buy or sell a home. When you have to move, sometimes you just don't have the luxury of time. You have to move by a specific date, but you still need to get that house sold. The gang at the Brian and Ryan Real Estate Team, they've seen this before. They want you to give them a call. They can take care of it. You know, you guys sit down and agree on a time and a date and price, all that, the date and price, and the home is still on the market. They'll buy it from you, and they can help you with this. I know you got a lot of stress just having to move. Having to put the kids in another school and all the things you need to change. You got your immediate family. You got to take care of all those things as well. The Ryan and Brian Real Estate Team ready, and they're on standby to help you move on your timeline and guaranteeing that sale. Have a conversation about that. In Edinburgh, the Ryan and Brian Real Estate Team were able to take care of business for a couple that needed to move because of professional reasons. They had a timeline of 3 months. The Ryan and Brian Real Estate Team was able to sell their home in 30 days, in 1 month. They had 2 extra months to figure things out and get everything else ready. That is the Ryan and Brian Real Estate Team. Start that conversation at 956-540-2536. The website, ryanandbrian.com. That's ryanandbrian.com.
If you're selling your home, don't be trying. Call Ryan and Brian. Go to ryanandbrian.com.
Attention all cattle ranchers. Martin Farm and Ranch Supply, the Valley's premier Purina feed dealer, is here to tell you all about the labor-saving benefits of Purina AccuRation liquid feed. With 34% protein and 5% fat, it delivers. Let us show you the cost benefits of the most sustained supplement on the market and get a free bag of mineral with your purchase. Limited time only.
Martin Farm and Ranch Supply, your premier Purina feed dealer. Just ask the horse.
It takes one whiff. Everything on the menu seems to be calling out to you. Dish after dish looks so good that you just can't seem to make up your mind. Everything looks better than the last thing. It's almost mind-boggling, and that's the moment that you realize you are at the right place. Zen Asian Bistro. All you can eat. Sushi, all kinds, and always delicate, fresh, and delicious. Sushi and Chinese food all at the same place. Zen. Everything you want. Individually, custom, wok-fired, crispy General Chow chicken, and all of your favorite Chinese food like sizzling steak lo mein. It's an experience you'll absolutely love. Lunch and dinner, all you can eat at Zen. You don't have to decide on one thing because you get it all. Everything on the menu is yours for one low price. All you can eat. Bring everybody. With kids' meals at just $8.99, there's just no better option out there. Zen Asian Bistro. All you can eat, unlimited, unforgettable, unapologetically affordable. Zen.
If you're looking to improve your overall health and have a better quality of life, Dr. T's Primary Care is the place to go. If you feel tired or stressed or less motivated, if you're moody or if you have trouble sleeping, Dr. T's Primary Care will evaluate you and work with you to address your health concerns, including testosterone or menopause treatment, peptide treatment, IV vitamin infusions. Their licensed staff will take the time to listen to you and work with you to improve your overall health. Check out the website, drtsprimarycare.com. Give them a call in McAllen at 956-803-0058 in Harlingen, 956-368-5247.
News and information to start your day.
The Valley's morning news.
News Talk 710 KURV.
It's the Wednesday edition of the Valley's Morning News, along with show producer Zach Cantu. I'm Sergio Sanchez, and AccuWeather popular today. AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine says we might see some afternoon thunderstorms, and those might bring some damaging winds and hail for someone in South Texas, so keep it tuned to KURV. Check of news, the service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. The House Rules Committee has been working since 1 a.m. at the Capitol on the Republicans' big tax and spending cut bill. Virginia Republican Morgan Griffith heard President Trump's in-person pitch yesterday and tells Fox,
I think he did change a few votes, but not all of them. And so we're still working, the Speaker is still working behind the scenes to get all the votes lined up.
The Congressional Budget Office says the bill, without changes, adds $3.8 trillion to the debt through 2034. The Justice Department's opened an investigation into former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo.
Cuomo is being investigated for statements he made to lawmakers who were looking into his management of the COVID-19 pandemic while the virus was spreading through nursing homes. House Oversight Committee Chair James Comer, a Republican, recommended that Cuomo, a Democrat, be charged with lying in his referral to the Justice Department.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers in New York, where Cuomo's running for mayor. America's listening to Fox News.
Former President Biden's announcement this past weekend that he's been diagnosed with prostate cancer. Doctors in Texas saying it's a wake-up call to all men, as 30,000 men die in America every year from colon cancer. Food and Drug Administration moving forward with an Alzheimer's treatment.
A test called Lumipulse measures two proteins found in the blood's plasma to find if a patient has plaques in the brain. Tests up until now have been more invasive, using brain scans and a spinal tap to confirm the presence of plaques. An FDA spokesperson said the clearance is an important step for Alzheimer's disease diagnosis, making it easier and more accessible for patients that are in the earlier stages. I'm Mark Mayfield.
Again, it's a blood test to detect Alzheimer's. And just 2 weeks after Aurora announced that they are sending 18-wheelers up and down Interstate 45, Houston, Dallas, up and down without any driver. It's a auto semi-truck. So many people were complaining, got nervous about having a driverless 18-wheeler. Now the manufacturer has asked Aurora, the company that's managing these 18-wheelers, to please put a driver monitor, backup driver in the cab, just to make sure everything's okay. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. We invite you to join us at Radio Para Mi. Download that free app. It's Kubota Orange Days at Amigo Power Equipment, your opportunity to finance with great financing options, or maybe save big on the Kubota equipment that you need at the ranch or that you need at the lease. Get the job done. And with factory-trained pros at Amigo Power Equipment in Edinburgh, you can't go wrong. Tell them what you need to do, and they'll know the type of attachment, extra equipment that you need to connect to those tractors, move some earth, or Maybe do some digging, put some fence out there. Yeah, they know. They're factory trained for Kubota at Amigo Power Equipment. JP and Jeff waiting for you today. They might be wearing some orange shirts today, celebrating the Kubota Orange Days. Get great financing options and savings at Amigo Power Equipment. Don't miss this chance at Amigo Power Equipment to save big on Kubota, the equipment that you need. America's #1 favorite compact tractor is Kubota. You will find it today at Amigo Power Equipment with factory-trained experts. Great financing and great savings on Kubota at Amigo Power Equipment in Edinburgh on Monte Cristo.
Hi there, my name is Tony Bolstead. My wife and I, Carol, own Sand Monsters. We'd like you to come on out and have fun. We've got a half-mile long track out here. It runs across about 3.5 acres. Have adult cars and kid cars, getting laps in, learning how to drive on the sand. And we also lease space to Redline Helicopters is one of our tenants here, and they've got a pad and they do helicopter tours. Lone Star National Bank and the team there really helped us get this thing put together, answered all our questions, huge help.
I am Stephanie Harrison. I am the second generation owner of Sisters Interiors on South Padre Island. We had always dreamed of owning our own land and owning our own building, using our design team to create what you see here today. That's how we got involved with Lone Star National Bank. We partnered with them and they helped us, create the dream.
Improve your overall health and enjoy a better quality of life with Dr. T's Primary Care. You're trying to set some new weight goals. If you're too moody or stressed out or just tired and trying to get more sleep, Dr. T's Primary Care can help you with all of that and more. If you're worried about things like low testosterone, Dr. T is a primary care provider from the sniffles to the flu and also offer menopause treatment, peptide treatment, and IV vitamin infusions. McAllen area call 956-803-0058 and in Harlingen 956-368-5247. That's drtspриmarycare.com.
This is Joe Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the nation's largest family law firm, but we're more than just size. We're part of your community. With offices across the country, our attorneys and staff live and work right where you do. And because we're local, we know your courts, your laws, and your legal community. When divorce puts your future on the line, you need a firm that's both powerful and personal. Call Cordell & Cordell.
Offices in San Antonio, Austin, and St. Louis. Schedule an appointment with one of our firm's San Antonio area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, Principal Partner. CordellCordell.com.
Be part of the KURV family. Like us on Facebook at 710 KURV.
Valley's Morning News with AccuWeather. It's an interesting forecast. So highs today should be mid-90s, but the interesting stuff should be this afternoon and into the evening. So join us 4 to 6 on the drive home with Zach and Davis for conversations with AccuWeather. The forecast for this afternoon, this evening, thunderstorms and maybe some very strong ones with damaging winds, possible hail in some areas of South Texas. Mid-Valley West is the key area to watch for now. News on 710 KURV, a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH. City of Brownsville giving local folks a heads up. There might be another Starship launch next Tuesday. Home Depot does not expect to raise prices despite President Trump's tariff plan. And on this National Waitstaff Day comes word up in D.C. that the No Tax on Tips Act has passed the Senate with unanimous support. Now heads to the U.S. House. Border Bridge wait times is posted on KURV.com. Again, go to our website, KURV.com. Right-hand margin, you'll see the report. Brownsville Bridge is